Press Start is the first album that I made. There were 2 songs on the record that I wrote with one of my very best friends and songwriting partner, Donnie, at DLGuitar7 on Instagram. Those 2 songs are Tiger Vest and Colorful. I was living in my grandma's house. I was 6 months out of college. I was experiencing that just like, the world is vast and heavy. The like post-college depression that I think a lot of people go through that nobody really told us about. I mean, maybe, like it kind of gets joked about. It's like, oh, he just graduated from college, he's like sad. It's like, yeah, it's fuck the entire rug of organized education is pulled out from under us, and it's kind of like, yeah, I mean, cool. I've been very fortunate and privileged every step of the way. I've always had a safety net, whether it's my immediate family or my aunt and my grandma putting me up, or friends, or a professor or 2 who would just like, if it came down to it, yes, like you can stay on the couch for as long as you need. So I've always been very lucky. And in that like 6 months and year after when I first started producing, I was writing a lot of songs, and at a certain point I realized that a lot of them were about just like finding closure, both in specific relationships and in general. The album starts with like me blowing into an N64 cartridge, and like a recording of some of my best friends playing Super Smash Brothers at my birthday party. Conceptually, there's a sort of a narrative arc that I imagined when I was writing it, mostly just for me to structure it efficiently from start to finish. The idea is like, it's kind of the last night before the protagonist, and I never thought of it as me, moves out of their parents' house. Because I mean, all of the video games that I played when I was a little kid, like Pokemon or Legend of Zelda or Chrono Trigger or Final Fantasy or whatever, the game starts with like, adventurer wakes up and just, you're out the door. Your mom is like, take care. But you kind of just have like the shoes on your back, or the shoes on your back. You kind of have the shoes on your feet and like a bag that maybe you're gonna go get a Pokemon from Professor Oak, but maybe not. And it just goes from there. I think Staying in Touch is probably the song that still I am like, oh, I'm proud of some of those. I'm really proud of some of those lyrics. Just like moment to moment, like it's not super structured, and I would never in a billion years have expected anybody to understand or to get that was the goal, but that was what I had in place for myself to write it and to sort of like structure it efficiently. It's got a lot of iPhone voice memos and like voicemails, and to me it feels very personal. And the very end of the album is kind of like, I imagine it like the last shot of an anime where it's like we see like door opens and like the character is silhouetted by the light, and we get a little, and that's kind of it. So yeah, that's Press Start.